What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another video. Today's gonna be a little bit different of a video than my normal videos. So I usually do like free picks around this time. I'm still gonna have it coming out a little bit later, but I thought that I would share with you guys my strategies and how we've been going this month. So this video is titled "How I Turned $10 into over $630 in less than a month with sports betting," and I'll kind of explain all my tools and strategies and kind of, I guess, tips that I used to do so. So I'm kind of going to just get straight into it. Obviously, this is our Pikkit tracker. So Pikkit is basically a sports betting tracker. It links to all your sports books, Prize Picks, Underdog, Sleeper, Chalkboard, Dabble, you name it. Links to everything. And it basically gives you an assessment of every day, if you go profitable or if you go negative. And as you can see, we have a couple days where we go red and we have a couple days where we go green. Obviously, the days that we went green outweigh the days that we went red. So as you can see, profitability $630.97 through 23 days of the month, which is pretty great, especially considering our bet size is $10. Our unit size is $10, and that'll kind of get me into my first point, which is bankroll management, guys. So as you can see, balance 1.1k. So my rule of thumb, and basically what anybody on the internet will tell you, is you shouldn't be betting more than 5% of your bankroll on a given day. And so what does that mean? Well, that means that with my balance of 1.1k, that means I'm betting $10 every bet slip. That doesn't matter what it is, right? So every time that I put out a slip for you guys, I'm betting $10 consistently, because I know that there's variancy, right? That means there's going to be days where it's bad. Like I said, look at this. There's days where it's bad and there's days where it's good, right? So let's say on a day that it's bad, let's say, Thursday the 1st or Friday the 2nd, I started betting, let's just say $20 per slip. And then, as you can see, at the end of the day, I would say that I'm down even more than that. I would say that I'm down 130, right? Because I bet double my unit size. So just because you guys are losing, that doesn't mean that you should bet less, guys. If you're winning, you shouldn't be betting more than you usually bet, right? Your unit size. It doesn't make any sense, right? Because any given day, you guys can just have an insane day. As you can see, yesterday, we had an insane day, or 2 days ago, we had an insane day. And if I just started betting like $5 slips for no reason, it would be half the amount. So does that make sense, guys? Like, be betting the same amount every time. $10 unit size, right? Don't deviate from that just because you had a bad day or just because you had a good day. Always bet the same amount. And don't use your emotions to dictate that amount, right? And that leads me into my second point, guys. Use as many of these sites as possible. So if you're only using Prize Picks, you're kind of getting scammed, not going to lie. Prize Picks only offers very limited lines, and most people already have Prize Picks because it's the most popular DFS site in the world, I'm pretty sure. Don't have is these other apps, right? Underdog, Sleeper, Dabble, Chalkboard, Better, all these sites. And the problem is people only use one site, or they only use like two, right? I have every single app that I can in my state, right? And that's because not every one of these sites have the same lines, and so we can take advantage of the discrepancies between these apps. And I'll kind of get into that in a little bit, but basically the premise is use as many of these sites as possible. Take advantage of their welcome bonuses. I know a lot of these sites, obviously Prize Picks, they will match your deposit up to $100. So basically they'll give you, if you deposit $100, they'll give you a free $100 to play with. So we have $200 in total. Underdog does the same thing. Sleeper does up to $500, so it's a little bit more promotional money. And then Dabble, they just give you a free $10, no questions asked. You don't even have to put your credit card info. And so obviously I need to put my code, so if you guys need to use any of the codes for that, obviously they're there, but that's not really the point. The point is like, you guys are only using one or two apps. I'm using every single app. So while you guys are, using Prize Picks and getting a line at 28.5, right? I'm getting them at 30 and I'm going under, right? You see what I'm saying? So that's why we need to have as many of these sites as possible. Stop placing 2 or 3 pick entries, guys. Please do not ever place a 3-man on Prize Picks. I will kill you. I'm just kidding, but please don't ever do it, because on Prize Picks, a 5x payout for a 3-man slip is horrible. And 2.25x for 3 flex play, that doesn't make any sense, guys. Like, when you're placing these slips, do you actually think that this is going to be profitable? And on Underdog, right, I could place a slip for a 3-man and I'll get 6x. So why would I ever go on Prize Picks and be like, hey, I'm going to willingly place a 3-man slip? 5 pick entries on Prize Picks are the best ones that you can do, a 5-leg. And that's because on a 5-leg, I'll show you guys an example here. And so a 10x, right? So you get 10x your money if all 5 of these hit. If 4 of them hit, let's say Josh Hart doesn't hit, 4 of them hit, you get 2x. And then if 3 of them hit, you get $4 back. Let's say that's just a $10 bet size. So you get 40% of your money back, right? So that's a pretty good play. And that's probably the most optimal slip type if you can't find a 6. If you can find a 6, this is obviously, a little bit more profitable, because you only need to win a certain amount of these guys to break even and to stay profitable. The 6 pick and the 5 picks are the most optimal slip types on Prize Picks. By the way, don't ever do, like I said, don't ever do a 3-man, because as you can see on Prize Picks, 5x, 2.25, 1.25. That doesn't make any sense, right? The only time you should be ever doing a 2x is if you have really solid props that you guys know is going to be great profitability, great EV. And I'll show you guys how to find that. And as you can see on Underdog, it's a little bit different, right? So if we get all 5 correct, obviously it's a 10x, which is amazing. And if you get 4 correct, that's actually 2.5x, which is a little bit better than Prize Picks, guys. But why? It's because they don't have a 40% payback. So if you get 2 of them wrong, then you get nothing, right? But on Prize Picks, you get 0.5 back or 0.4 back. So you get a little bit of money back. On Underdog, no. You just get a little bit more if you get 4 right, but you get nothing if you get 3 right. That leads me into my next point, which is stop using StatMuse or last 5 games played. So as you can see here, Jaylen Brown, last 5. I think this is a goblin, but I'm just using this as an example. As you can see, people will see this and they'll be like, "Oh my gosh, this is a steal." I'm gonna go take his over because it looks like he's been crushing this line. And that's where you'll get in trouble, guys, especially using the last 5 games, and especially using, as you can see, StatMuse here. That's what I used to do. I would go to, let's just say, right, and then go into his last 5 games. Obviously you can see points: 21, 19, 20, 18, 15. And you can see here on Prize Picks, 14.5. This looks like a great line, right? This looks like good value. And that's where you guys are going to get in trouble, right, is doing that. It's recency bias. You guys are using the last 5 games saying, "Oh yeah, the last 5 games he went over, so he must go over in the next game." Leads me into the next point, which is stop being so worried about the matchups, right? So you look into the last 5 games played. Oh, he played the Bucks, I don't know, or the Knicks. You guys see that these matchups, like, oh, they're a lot harder. They have a tougher defense. Guys, most of the time, that doesn't really even matter. First of all, we use OddsJam, obviously, right? So I'll kind of introduce you guys to that. I know it's kind of a lot of information to process, but I'll show you why StatMuse and using last 5 games. As you can see on Prize Picks, this stuff doesn't matter at all, guys. Matchups don't matter. But I got to tell you guys something, right? These sports books on here, they're way smarter than us, okay? They know they're billion-dollar companies. Prize Picks is a billion-dollar company. FanDuel, DraftKings, BetMGM, like all these guys, they know way more than you. They have sophisticated billion-dollar models to find, these lines every day. And they're on their shit. They know more than you. They know more than me. You know what I'm saying? So why not use that information to our advantage, right? So you think, I'm going to go on Prize Picks. I'm going to go look at the last 5. Oh my God, this is such a great value. But the sports books, they already priced that in. They already know what he's going to get on a given day, right? So when we use OddsJam, and more specifically Daily Grind Fantasy, these are basically just 2 optimizer tools that we use. We can see here, it gives us a % chance to hit, and also the odds, right? So I'll kind of explain the odds to you guys first. So as you guys can see, there's a couple here. Let's just look at Noah Hanifin, shots on goal under 2. So it looks like on Pinnacle, FanDuel, and DraftKings, he's at 2.5, and they're basically favoring him at minus 200. So I'll kind of explain what minus 200 is to you guys real quick. And here's an odds converter. So Moneyline, paste that. That means the implied probability is 68.2. So minus 214, 68.2% implied probability. So let's check this out. So Noah Hanifin at 2.5, basically Pinnacle, which is the sharpest sports book that we have information on. They're valuing him at a 68.2% chance to go under 2.5 shots on goal, right? So how can we use that information? So as you can see, FanDuel has him at minus 198. So they're not thinking that he's going to go under 2.5 as much as Pinnacle is. So basically, guys, the higher this negative number is, the better chance there is for something to happen, right? So if this was at like minus 1,000, that would be basically guaranteed for it to happen. So basically, when we're trying to find value on this, I'll kind of sum this up. DGF here, you guys can see he's at minus 140, right? So what is that? What is that in implied probability? 58.3. So that means Daily Grind thinks that there's a 58.3% chance that Noah Hanifin will go under 2 shots on goal. And there's basically a little bit of juice in that as well. So obviously on Prize Picks, there's a little bit of juice. So basically what juice is, or it's called VIG, It's basically like the little bit of juice that they put into the lines so that they're making a profit. So they're obviously not going to give you the exact percentage chance and payout for that to happen, because then how are they going to make money? So they're obviously going to charge you a little bit into that odds. So they're going to make it less likely because they need to make money, right? So instead of it being 58.3% chance of it happening, it's actually closer to a 54.15, because PrizePicks obviously takes a little bit of money from that. This is basically the premise of what I'm telling you guys. Why would I be using, last five? Why would I be trying to go in here and use all this information and StatMuse and matchups and all this stuff when that stuff doesn't really matter, guys? Going on to Daily Grind, finding the best, positive EV plays. There's a couple strategies. One that I typically use is called middling. So let's go to this tool here. This is a tool made by creator on YouTube. He goes by the name of 9to5 Sports, Eric. I'll link his channel in the description, but he actually did make this tool for us. And he has a lot of like prop tools, PGA tools, and I actually use his tools quite often. That's what's been giving me a big edge on college basketball in particular. But I'll kind of just walk you guys through this. So check this out, right? Armando Bacot, he's at 35.65 fantasy score on Underdog, and then on PrizePicks he's at 34.5, guys. So there's something called middling, right? So if on Underdog, let's see Armando Bacot. But as you can see, Armando Bacot looks like Underdog's taking down the lines, but as you can see, 35.65 on Underdog, Armando Bacot is at 34.5. So if I went over on PrizePicks and I went lower on Underdog, if he got anywhere in between 35.65 and 34.5, that means both bets would hit. It means I'm trying to get anywhere in between that value. A higher percent chance of both of them hitting, because there's a difference between these lines. And typically there's not just 1 to 2 difference. Sometimes there's even more, right? So sometimes I've seen -4 difference between the lines, which is insane, guys. And as you can see here, Kyle Filipowski on Underdog, 33.25. On PrizePicks, he's at 35.5. For PrizePicks, and I would go Filipowski under. On Underdog, Filipowski, I would go over, 33.25. As you can see, guys, if he gets anywhere in between 33.25 and 35.5, so if he gets 33, 34, even 35, at any decimal point in between there, we hit both. If you guys aren't using these strategies, like, then why you guys aren't profiting? And there's a lot of reasons why we've been profiting so much this month. It's because we take advantage of strategies like this, like middling, because they actually give us a better chance to profit. It's literally just as simple as that. Like, I go down this board and I look, okay, well, there's some props that have difference, right? So this one on Underdog, 22.5. And on PrizePicks, he's at 24.5. So literally, I would just take the over on Underdog and the under on PrizePicks. Chance that he gets in between both, he probably won't, because that's a very low chance that he gets in between that. But there's some days where they do, and you hit on both of them, and that's profitability, guys. That's how you do it. So basically, I mean, that's pretty much all I do, guys. And there's something else called the correlation tool. This is something else that Daily Grind has access to. It's basically just like an AI model. This is some of like the picks that I put out on my premium. So as you can see, throughout the month, they've been up 793 units, and then their ROI is 22.2 per wager, which is pretty great, guys, if you think about it. Basically, these slips, they're correlation slips, so I'll just show you this one. Vegas Golden Knights versus Ottawa Senators. So basically, they're expecting Alec Martinez to go over 2.5 block shots, Forsberg under 25.5 saves, and then all the Senators players to go over shots on goal. Well, why? Right? So they think that the Senators are going to have more control of the puck. They think that the Golden Knights are going to be in a position where they're blocking shots more. That's why we have Martinez going over block shots, because they think, they're going to be having to block all the shots that the Senators are putting up, right? And that also means that the Senators goalie, Forsberg, is going to have to be saving less shots, because the Senators are going to have control of the puck more. So the Golden Knights are going to have less of an opportunity to be shooting the puck. So that's basically what we're trying to predict, right? It's just correlation. It's basically betting on a certain game flow, a certain game script. And that's what the Daily Grind does. It basically provides me with all these slips every day. And I use these tools and I send them out on my Winnable. Obviously, you guys can get access to any of these tools. There is obviously, it costs money to get some of these tools, but I'm saying like you guys can get access to any of these and you guys can do any of this stuff yourself. Like you guys don't need me to do this. Obviously, if you guys enjoyed the content, support the channel, go on Instagram. I've been going crazy on there. I appreciate if you guys show love on there. If you guys don't want to do all that, if you guys don't want to, you know what I mean, research all that stuff, go through the hassle of selecting plays, you know, tediously, looking for value, looking for optimizing your plays, making sure that you're getting profitability. You guys just don't want to deal with all that. If you guys aren't on the VIP and you guys really want access to like all this value, I am giving out a free month for you guys. It is ending in March. Obviously, normally it is $150 a month, but with all the value I just gave you guys in this video, you guys, if you guys see that price and you're like, that's way too high, all the tools that I just gave you access to, what you're going to be paying in a month is even more than what you're going to be paying for my premium, right? So if you guys want to go buy Daily Grind, if you guys want to go buy OddsJam, if you guys want to go buy Eric's tool, in addition to using your time for all the research that it takes for that, it's going to cost you a little bit more than what I'm actually charging you for just sending out the picks and just copy pasting them into the apps, right? And that's kind of my offer to you. Obviously, it does end in March, so that will be ending soon. But that's pretty much it, guys. That's how we've remained profitable. That's how we've gone up $630. This is kind of how I've done it. If you guys have any questions, pop them in the comment section or DM me, and I'll have the free picks video out pretty soon for you guys as well. Yeah, that's it. Peace.